As a high ticket closer, questions are everything. Nobody likes to be told what to do or, overloaded with data. If you want to generate change in your prospect or you want them to come to a realization, that needs to be from them. And the way that you do that is by asking the right questions. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you the 5 questions that I use to personally get from about 10K a month to 30K a month. And these are 5 questions that you can use in any industry when you're selling info, B2B, B2C, real estate, marketing, whatever it is. These questions are crucial for every single sales call because they are the questions which will push the needle forward and generate the change and the realizations in your prospect that you need to close the deal. I'm a 30K a month closer. I've made hundreds of thousands in sales, and I'll give you the 5 questions that I use the most completely for free in this video. So let's get into it. So these are the 5 questions needed to go from about 10K a month to 30K a month, or if you're just starting out, 0 to 10. Right now, like if you have a Google Doc at hand or a pen and paper, definitely take notes because you can whip these out on any offer and actually just use them to close more deals. Right. And at the end of the day, right, questions build emotions, and emotions are what gets people to change. And change in our case is actually paying you a fuck ton of money. As you can see here, these are all deals that I've closed. 4,000, 8,000, 4,000, just to name a few. I mean, the results don't lie. Now, let me get right into the questions, which is, obviously why you're here. Now, this is probably the most important question. And this is because, the prospect will end the call as they start the call, right? They've joined the call in a certain frame of mind. You have to then get them into a different frame of mind later on if you want them to get a different result. So the easiest way will have certain beliefs, right? If they join the call, with the idea of this is a salesperson who's trying to sell me something, they'll probably think of that the entire call, right? So from the get-go, you want to just hear their perspective on it, right? And this is the question, how can I help, right? I saw that you booked in for a call today. How can I help, man? I guess like how do you, book in the call to, man? What can I help with? Right. And this tells you why they booked in the call. At the end of the day, like all of these people, they booked in a call because they know they need your help. They know the problem in their mind. They know why they needed the help. The same way that maybe 10% of your prospects will just jump on and pay because the idea of what they need help with is so clear in their mind. Now, for some prospects, it won't be that clear. They might jump on the call with the pretense of, oh, I'm just looking around, right? And again, like if you ask them, how can I help? And they give you an answer like that, suddenly now you know that that's what's going on in their mind and you can pre-handle it. But if you never asked a question like that, you might not know that their intention is, I'm just looking around. So it's super important to ask this question because you'll just gain valuable insights and you'll be able to immediately start tackling it, when you actually start, going through your discovery phase and, when you actually get later on the call. So this is really the first thing that you say. Obviously, you can do a little pattern interrupt, make a comment about their background, ask them if your Fathom note taker can join so you can, send them a recording after the meeting. But this is one of the first things that you say, right? And it's, how can I help, honestly? And now the second question is, again, super duper powerful. And it's, what have you done in terms of advanced help? Now, for most of you guys, you're going to be selling some kind of advanced help, right? Whether it be a fitness offer, and you're selling advanced training for a year, whether you're selling lead services and, you're like, oh, to be honest, man, like Angie's List isn't really actually what I sell. Maybe you're selling sales coaching. Yeah, like I get it. You've done the free stuff on YouTube, but like, what have you done in terms of advanced help? And it basically just bridges that gap between what they've done and what you are actually offering them. Now, the magic is, honestly, is that after quantifying their problem, right? So you understand, hey, man, how can I help? What are you here to actually achieve? You quantify the problem. Then you basically just go, what have you done to fix this problem? You can link it to time frames, whatever you need to build a bit of pain, build a bit of urgency. And then once they've told you, like, this is what I did and this didn't work, and then after that, I tried this and this also didn't work. What you can basically ask once you've burned all the bridges of them actually getting there on their own is like, what have you done in terms of advanced help? And, if they say, oh, I've done X, Y, Z, like cut them off because they haven't done anything advanced as you. And that's the thing. If they start telling you about something, it obviously didn't work. So you can cut them off. Sorry, man, respect you. I meant more like advanced help, like 6 calls a week, like, hundreds and hundreds of proven track record, right? Like advanced help. And what it will basically do is it will just show them in their mind that they've tried all these things that haven't worked to fix this big problem that's causing them all this pain. But the one thing they haven't tried is real advanced help. And it just will frame their mind that you are the bridge. You burned all the bridges of what they've tried. So the only thing left is this, advanced help that they haven't even tried yet. Super duper powerful. Use it at the pretty much the end of your discovery phase, just before you go into heaven. And then you basically make them realize, like, if you got this advanced help, what would it allow you to do? what would you achieve? And then you go into heaven and you look at all the things they want to do and what it would mean for them if, they were able to get XYZ outcome, right? Now, this next question is super duper slept on. And it is just, how would you like to proceed? Most salespeople really just don't ask for the sale enough. And you can frame this in different ways. How would you like to proceed? Would you like to move forward? No. How would you like to move forward? Again, you want to assume the sale, right? Because at the end of the day, unless they're giving you resistance, they want to do it. They jumped on the call because they want your help. They have a problem they want to fix and a desired outcome they want to reach. So at the end of the day, they do want to get the help, right? And an objection is just for you to kind of tackle it. If they give you an objection, it's because they want you to tackle it so they can proceed and get to where they want to go. So you basically just ask them hey, brother, I mean, how would you like to proceed? And, you can say this in a few ways. Most of our clients pay with the debit or credit card. I guess, what would be better for you? Stuff like that, right? You have to ask for the sale, and don't be scared to ask for it multiple times. Now, sometimes if you drop the price and they're like, yeah, this looks really good, and they don't really say anything because they're waiting for you to take the next steps. At the end of the day, you need to par the next steps for them. You can say, cool, man, how would you like to proceed? And then that will close the deal. Sometimes if you're objection handling, maybe you take them down a reframe, you finally get to the point where they admit this is actually something I want to do. I want to make this change. Again, you just ask them, how would you like to proceed? Maybe you say, yeah, so what would you do, man? If you were to make the educated decision here, I'd do it. Okay, you sure? You don't have to. No, I want to do this. Okay, cool, man. How would you like to proceed? And that is the closing question. That gets them to pull out their wallet and pay you, right? Now, the fourth question is, do you feel like this could actually get you to where you want to go? Now, this is so important because when you drop the price, right, you lose your leverage. You lose the leverage that you had, and the ego crystallizes because now they're in fear mode, right? They feel like they might lose something. So whatever beliefs they have become much stronger because they become defended by the ego. So before you drop the price, after you pitch them, after you show them how you're going to get them to where they want to go, what you basically just say to them is okay, brother, based on everything I showed you, the 6 calls a week, the one-on-ones, all the classroom modules, do you feel like this could actually get you to where you want to go? And if they say no, boom, now you pre-handle it. You say, okay, I guess what about it would you feel like we're missing? Or okay, I guess what else would you need to actually feel confident that you could get to X, Y, and Z result? And then you pre-handle it. But if they say yes, they've just confirmed in their mind. Again, humans are congruent. If for any reason there's confusion on can this get me to where I want to go, they won't buy. Humans only buy when when it makes sense for them, right? If humans are confused, they don't have clarity, they won't see the next steps. So even if they don't understand the process and you don't ask them, it may get to the end of the call, they say I need to think about it, but it's because they don't understand what it is they're actually going to be doing. But by asking them, do you feel like this can get you to where you want to go? They might just ask you a question about the process. They might say, hey, can you clarify on this X, Y, and Z? And then you go, absolutely. And now they're in a frame of mind where they are confident that it can get them to where they want to go. And the last thing is just how much does it fucking cost? Now, the fifth question is, I guess what's really behind that, man? And this is an objection handling question. Super duper powerful. And it's basically almost for any objection, which is bundled into one. I don't know if you've ever had those prospects give you 5 objections. You say, yeah, man, it seems good and all. I do have some finances coming out. And, obviously with my wedding coming up, I got to allocate funds. My wife's the decision maker in the business. And it's just a big decision for us. It's they just say fucking 5 things at once. All you have to do is okay, brother, all of that aside though, be honest with me, man, what's really behind it though? And it's just it just peels back the layer. And again, you don't always have to do that. If it's hey man, this is a humongous decision. I've never done something big as this before. You can just say to them, brother, what's really behind that, man? Be honest with me. I'm here to help. What's really behind that concern? And it will just help them to open up. It'll just take that first step. Because I can't lie, when you're on your objection handling, it's almost never the real objection. Even if they tell you this is a lot of money, you might ask them what's really behind that. And they'll say, oh, I don't, this is a lot to give out to someone online. Boom, now you've realized it's a trust objection. They might tell you, oh, I signed up with an agency before and paid them this exact amount and it didn't work. And now, boom, now it's an uncertainty objection, right? So it's you want to peel back the first layer of the onion, and you always get to what's actually below. And this is always kind of just after the actual objection is raised. Now, all of these are just micro movements that push the sale forward, subconscious movements in the prospect's mind that will help them to justify why they should actually work with you. All of these are micro confirmations of why this would work. How can I help? I'm here to help. Oh, this person's here to help me. Okay, I'm going to tell them what's helping me, and then they'll ask me questions about it. Beautiful. right? It's like if you go down some path, it's not even why they're here. Like you're going to get nowhere. What have you done in terms of advanced help? Okay, like I haven't done anything in advanced help. This is advanced help right here. Like maybe this could be the thing I've not tried yet. How would you like to proceed? Again, it's like, they want me to proceed. Like I want to get to where I want to go. Like I don't want to jump off this call without the result. I want to proceed. It's why I booked the call in the first place. Do you feel like this could actually get you? Yeah, I do. I do. Like I really like the course. I think all the calls and everything is great. I do genuinely think that this can provide me what I haven't even had access to before. And then what's really behind that, man? It's like, they really care. You're not just saying like, oh, let me speak to my wife. Yeah, but to be honest, we only do one call. Like if you speak to your wife, you lose that, right? It's like they care. They want to know what's behind my objection. They want to understand like what's the problem, and it just builds rapport, right? At the end of the day, it's rapport. All of these questions are directly related to important information. Now, important information is the most powerful thing in sales because it is what these prospects appreciate. If you talk about important information and the information directly regarded to why they are there, they will notice it, they will respect you, they will like you, and as a result, the sale will be pushed forward. Super duper simple. All of this will help you close more deals, right? So take these 5 questions down one more time. How can I help? What have you done in terms of advanced help? How would you like to proceed? Do you feel like this can actually get you to where you want to go? And what's really behind that, man? Now, if you're doing 10K a month and you're not using all 5 of these questions in your sales call, it's probably the reason why you're still at 10K a month. And if you're at 0K a month and you want to get started, just try and implement at least 3 of these in your calls. And I promise you that you will see the results.